What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pete Shop Makes. I'm Pete, and this week I made this pretty sweet router template for my American flag builds. And I've been having a lot of questions about people wanting to know the process and how I lay them out. And normally I did it by hand, but I wanted to go ahead and make one of these up, which will save a tremendous amount of time. And if you want to see how it's made, stick around. Alright, so here's the what I'm going to use to make my template for my stars. It's just a 1/4 inch sheet of acrylic. I put this 18 by 24 inch star sheet that I got printed out at Staples for maybe $1. I just went and Googled star template, something like that, and came up with this. Emailed it over there to them, and for like $1 and some change, I was able to get this printout 18 by 20. So because I royally fudged up on my last template, which was just a sheet of they called it foam board, but it's just like a thick PVC almost. But this stuff was a pain in the ass to try and route. It just gummed up the bits. I mean, I tried probably 3 or 4 different bits and it did the same thing, even changed the speed of my router, and the stars just came out looking like crap. So because of that, I think I'm going to go a different route and not try to route the template, but I'm going to drill holes in the middle and then try to see if I can get nice clean cuts with my jigsaw. I have a few different blades here. I have some scrolling blades, some thin metal blades, and some other plastic or blades that are for scrolling plastic. So we're gonna see how all those work with the acrylic. So I have a couple scrap pieces of the same material, the clear acrylic, and I'm just gonna try and do a couple tests on them, see which blades work the best, and if I can cut a nice clean star, then that'll be the method I use. So let's go ahead and do that now. Getting a lot of melt. Let's try this metal blade. I really like the way that cuts. I think this is the method I'm going to go with. Now, being that I'm going to be using a guide bushing, I'll have to accommodate for the offset, but that's not too hard. I can just trace a line around those stars. When I go to route it, then it'll route the exact same size as those stars, because those stars on the template that I have, that piece of paper, are the size that I want my finished stars to be. So in order to get that with the pattern bit, I'm going to have to offset them, make them a little bit bigger than what they are now. But that's fine. I can figure that out. And so for those of you who don't know exactly what a guide bushing is, this brass part right here is a guide bushing, and it's got this little neck on it which offsets, so this will ride up against the template and allow me to put my bit into the piece that I'm cutting without damaging the template itself. So that's all that is, in case you guys didn't know. Alright, I got it. I came up with something that's gonna make this go a lot quicker. I had a piece of 1-inch square, or 1/8 inch square stock that I use as gauging blocks for setting up my other tools. So I'm just going to line that up with the original and then mark on the outside 1/8, and I think that's pretty perfect. Okay, so now with that being said, I think that's my final. I'm not going to make any more changes. I think that's what I'm going to go with. So, little change of plans here, or just a variation to them. In addition to using my jigsaw, I think I'm going to use my Dremel tool as well to hopefully maybe cut a majority of the star out, and then go back and just cut the rest of the tips out with the jigsaw. And I think the combination of the two might be quite a bit quicker. But I'll try doing just one with this, see how it comes out, and one with this, and we'll see how it works. See which one's faster. As you can see, I already went ahead and cut out two different stars here. The first was with a Dremel tool, and I'm not sure what this blade was for. I got it in a pack, and I had thrown the box out. But this one had the least amount of burning out of, or melting out of all my other Dremel attachments. And I mean, it left a fairly decent cut, sharp corners, but the edges are a lot more rough than the star I did with the metal blade on the jigsaw. So what I've gone ahead and done here now, because I was having issues with it cracking and not having enough support underneath it, I went ahead and just threw together this little frame or box, if you will, and it allows me to move these planks around where needed, so I can use the Dremel and skill saw, or I'm sorry, jigsaw, with a little bit more rigidity and clearance for the blade to go. So I've used that on a couple stars, and it's worked a lot better. So I'm really happy with that. So now we're just gonna carry on. Just seems to never end though, one thing after another, you know? But we're persevering. All right, let's get back to it. All right. Well, that was just about the worst thing I think I've ever had to do. That sucked so much. But I'm glad to be done with it. Well, there she is in all her glory. Oh, sorry. Points up, remember? Points up. Okay, there it is. So now I'm just going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit. Get some of the melted on plastic off in some areas. Maybe just clean it up with a file or something. And then I don't know if I'm gonna just leave the paper on or sand it off maybe. I don't know. But that's pretty much it. So let me go ahead and clean it up, and then we'll see how it works. Hope it works, because that was a pain in the ass. So it better work. Oh yeah, hey, if anybody knows someone who's in the market for some clear acrylic triangles, I got about 250 of them. Now that we got it all cleaned up, I'm just going to do a quick test of it, make sure it works. Now it's going to have to be a real quick test because it is getting kind of late where I live, and I got to be courteous of the neighbors close by. So I just got some double-sided tape here, and I'm just going to stick it to some fiberboard and see how it works. I'd say that was pretty successful, no? I think that's going to be perfect. Now when I make my stars for my flags, I'll just paint the board or stain the board blue. And then once it's all dry, just go over it and route out the stars. Maybe give it a little quick torch. Call it good. Alright, well that about wraps it up. The do's and don'ts of router template making for making wooden American flags. And I said it before and I'll say it again. If you know someone that has a CNC and you plan on doing something like this, that's the way to go. But if you're like me, you don't know anybody that's got one, do what you had to do. So thanks for sticking around, checking it out. Hope you guys like the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.